Hello, everybody. This is Iridescent Answers coming to you with the reading. I'm actually doing the full moon in Virgo reading today, and the reason why I'm doing that is because full moons actually bring things to the surface that need to be cleared out in order to manifest what it is that you actually want and what you have been desiring. So, this is going to be a pick a card reading in which you choose which deck you want or which deck resonates more with you. And if you can't do that just by looking at the cards, just by looking at the decks, then you're more than welcome to actually choose which stone resonates with you. I believe this is a selenite. So we have selenite here. We have our amethyst on the second deck, and then clear crystal quartz on the third deck. So first, second, third deck, and I'll give you a couple of seconds, or you could just pause, that's fine too, to actually meditate and see which energies from the decks actually trigger you, or from the gemstones actually trigger you. Okay, so with this reading, I actually made this up like a couple of minutes ago, actually. Okay, so it's actually going to be telling you the situation that you're going through right now, what it is that you need to release, and how to release it, and what it's actually going to bring into your life once you actually release that blockage. So for those of you who chose deck number 1, okay, the situation that you're going through is perseverance. I feel like you've been going through some rough times, a lot of stresses, a lot of things that haven't been working out in your life, and you're just about ready to give up. But the thing is, God and your spirits, your spirit guides are actually there and they're giving you signs to stay on the path. So you've been having a lot of struggles. And you feel like nothing really is going to work out. You kind of like, you might have used to being optimistic while you were following your dreams, but the fact that you've been coming up against so many obstacles and blockages in regards to that specific dream or that specific relationship or that specific something that you want, um, you're starting to get worn down, and you're starting to believe that nothing's ever going to work out for you, or that situation isn't going to work out for you. But that's why we're here, and well, that's why I'm here. I don't know why I keep saying we, but we're going to actually help you to clear that out in order to manifest what it is that you desire. And it's what are you needing to release? You need to release breaking barriers. I am expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. So the barrier is actually going to be broken if you realize that no matter how much struggle you go through, there's always a way around it. There's always, it's like even with harsh conditions, plants always seem to grow from the fact that there is a plant. There's always that silver lining. I say look for the silver lining in order to persevere, in order to get exactly what it is that you want, in order to push through. Breaking barriers. I'm going to actually read that from the book for you. And this is actually what needs to be clear. This is what you're letting go of. It's like sometimes when we're on a journey and it's a struggle, what it is us. It's like before there's a actual victory, it's like you might feel as if everything is at a loss and it's at an end, but when you least expect it, things turn around. And a lot of times before we can get to our highest point, we have to hit rock bottom in order to rise like the phoenix and become a new creature, and going through this journey is actually what's going to bring you a better perspective, a perspective that's actually going to take you in a direction that you need to in order to fulfill what it is that you are trying to fulfill, your desire. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read Breaking Barriers. I am expanding beyond limitations into joy and freedom. Card meaning, there are times to go with the flow, but this isn't one of them. Now is the time to break through self-imposed barriers. Gather your inner forces and break free from whatever is holding you back. So I'm thinking that you can't break barriers, that there's nothing you can do about the situation. That is actually what's holding you back. The fact that you think that you can't do anything about it. Okay, so these cards are going to actually tell you how to release. How to release is the first card, and then the bottom card is actually what's going to resolve as if you follow the advice of this first card, which is how to release. How to release it is omens. And you have the hawk. Oh, that's an owl. An owl, flying at night. But it's like it's the moon on top, and then there's the sun on the bottom, which is like feminine and masculine energies. And owls are always known to be messengers of wisdom. So I'm guessing that there are wisdoms that you are getting, and they're actually meant to actually balance out your masculine and your feminine side, and that's actually what's going to cause you to break those barriers. Meditating, clearing your mind, pushing your ego out of the way. Your ego is what's actually telling you not to go on. It's telling you not to continue and to just give up. But you're getting omens already, and I feel like you're getting them from your guides. You're getting them from people that have passed on that you had loved, and you're just seeing signs. But I'm going to read it straight from the book because I always like to give a bit more clarity. Hawks are messengers. This majestic bird flies high and reaches the realms of spirit. They bring back messages from both the seen and unseen. Drawing this card speaks of focus and intuition. Pay attention to the coincidences in your life right now. Focus on where you want to go. How high do you want to fly? When you see a hawk, someone is trying to get your attention. Oh, it is a hawk. I thought it was an owl, but hey, it is what it is. When you see a hawk, someone is trying to get your attention. Pay attention to serendipity in your life. Be glad, for this is a reminder that you are living in the flow of energy. Things will soon shift for you. So it's just letting you know, pay attention. There is no coincidences. And you're getting signs all along. And once you know that things will soon shift for you, you have to know that. And they will shift for you. And this is what's going to happen in result of knowing that things are going to shift and you following those omens and the advice that you are being given from the spirit world. And this is going to be your result is growth. So you're actually going to see an expansive amount of growth. You're going to see that things just start to pick up out of nowhere. You're going to actually have more success in that thing, or a better version of that thing or person, whatever relationship. You're going to have what is actually better for you, because God is going to reward you for persevering, for not giving up, and for listening to the message that you are receiving and having faith in your prayers, in your dreams. Growth. This is what is going to happen as a result. This situation or time is one of rapid growth. The seeds that have been planted have germinated and taken root. Go with the flow of this growing time. You may find people and situations falling away from your life, as now they do not serve who and what you are becoming. It may be that your vibration no longer resonates with theirs. It's okay. Wish them well. Be grateful for what they brought to you, and you to them, and send them on their way. Room has now been made for new experiences, people, and situations to help you to your next level. If you are not feeling this shift right now, be prepared, because it will soon come to pass. That's it for you guys. Deck number 1. Okay, for you, those of you who chose deck number 2, okay, the situation going on with you is actually perception. Perception. It seems like you guys are having very vivid information. I guess you could say information, imagination. There's a lot going on in your mind right now, and it's like if you think a certain way, that is actually how you're going to perceive things. And a lot of you might be, it's like your perception is actually what is being manifested in your direct environment. So anything that you're going through right now is a direct result of your perception. So some of you may have to choose to see the silver lining in the situation in order for things to be more beautiful in your life, in order for your direct environment to be more beautiful, more harmonious, and more peaceful. I'm going to read this one from the book anyway. I feel like I should read this one. Oh no, that's not it. Let's see. Perception. Emerald offers a regal ability to see things differently and the chance of embracing transformation. There is an ability to attract wealth here if you have an open heart. A young princess wanders into her untended garden. As she claws through the decaying undergrowth, she finds a brilliant emerald stone. The stone speaks and tells the princess to open an old wooden door. She enters a dark corridor, and the door slams shut. Afraid, she moves forward until her hand falls upon another door. It opens to reveal the same garden she left behind, only now it is beautiful, filled with flowers, butterflies, birds. It is magnificent and familiar. Inspiration is often our journey brings us full circles, leaving us to wonder why things happen. Emerald Stone teaches us to follow through on whatever is before us. Going back is not an option. Personal inquiry. What in my life needs tending? How good will I allow myself to feel? Okay, and actually, what is the blockage that you need to release is sharing of yourself. I am an incredibly generous being. What needs to be released is sharing of yourself. I feel like you guys are hiding yourselves. I feel like there's a lot of yourself that you're not putting out there, and that is actually what can be causing a lot of problems in your love lives, in your relationships, because you're not fully sharing yourself with others. You're not speaking your truth. You're not doing all of the things that you may like to do in front of that person, or letting them know that, because you feel like they won't accept you for who you are. But it could be that your perception is just off, and you need to re-examine that, and you need to change your perspective, because it just might all be in your mind. But I am going to go ahead and read that from the book for a little bit more clarity. Sharing of yourself. I am an incredibly generous being. Share who you are with others. Give what you have, what you do, and who you are. Be generous. The more freely and more fully you share of yourself, the more fully and freely the universe will give to you. So, of course, giving makes the heart happy, at least for those of us who aren't stingy. But giving of yourself actually releases tension. It releases stress. It releases the fact that you haven't told them the truth about who you are. So you don't have to worry about that. It's like these things are released. The tension is released. The stress is released. You don't have to worry about what somebody's going to think, because you don't have to worry about what anybody's going to like, because the simple fact is you're being you. And if that person is meant to stay in your life, then they're going to accept you for who you are. And if they're not, then that's just someone that you need to let go of in your life. And that's just all to it. I mean, you got to love yourself. And if you can't share yourself, then that's meaning that you're not fully appreciating yourself. You're not fully accepting yourself for who you are. Because if you were accepting yourself for who you are, then you would not be ashamed of sharing yourself with people. Okay, so what you need to do, how to release this, how to be able to share yourself more freely with others, or give more freely with others. The guidance here on how to release this blockage is creativity. This card actually reminds me of the Ace of Cups, and it's overflowing into more cups, two more cups. It's like creativity is actually self-expression. It's self-expression, and it's like when you have so much good energy, good vibrations, and love inside of you that it overflows. Got my leg showing. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so anyway, the love overflows, and you're able to not just have a full cup, but you're able to fill others' cups too. So other people are going to be blessed with the fact that you can express yourself fully, and you're going to be happier as a result. And so will the people that share your company. I'm going to read that from the book. Creativity is how you need to release this blockage. That's the wrong book. Creativity. This is a profoundly creative time period for you, whether it is in the traditional arts, music, or writing, or it could be a new curiosity about exploring a way to funnel your creative urges. To be creative, you need to access your right brain, your emotional sensing feeling center. Do this by trying things you've never done before. Get physical, dance, doodle. When we acknowledge and act upon our impulse to create, we are aligning our will with the Creator. In this, we can experience the flow of being on your highest path. Start creating and notice how time has no meaning anymore. Hours fly by before you realize it. It is not a struggle. It is pure inspiration. This card can also signify a birth of a child or a whole new way of being. And what's going to result if you follow that advice is anger. Very surprising. Anger. It looks a bit territorial because it kind of looks like a wasp to me. And I've got stung by these things so many times in my life, and I wasn't even doing anything. I usually just, well, actually it was last time I got stung by a bee was when I was a kid, but I usually wasn't doing anything but playing. Not with the bees, but minding my own business. So, oh my gosh, I get it. It's like people are gonna you're gonna find that people are a bit angered by your, you releasing that, you actually sharing of yourself, being creative, being, creating things and being your true self and not being ashamed of showing who you are and what you like to do. There's going to be some haters, but who cares? As long as you're happy, it doesn't matter how other people feel. And if it is that they are unhappy about something that's making you happy, then that's actually seems like a personal problem to me. It's their problem. And obviously something that you're doing is upsetting them because they may be either jealous of the fact that you are free or that you feel freely to express yourself and be your true self, and they don't. And that could just be the fact that they are jealous because of the simple fact is your talents. They could be jealous of the way that you express yourself, your writing skills, or the fact that you're just following your dreams. They could be jealous of that. So there's nothing you can do about it, but I feel like you're not going to care. You're just going to do what makes you happy, and you're going to find that the more and more you are this way, the more and more you're going to attract good things in your life. But let's go ahead and read that from the book. Anger, a very strong and primal emotion. Anger sometimes catches us by surprise. At other times it seeps just under the surface, simmering a long while until it boils over, scalding anyone who is close. Anger is based in fear. Fear of loss of control, fear of not being loved, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. When anger enters your life, be it yours or someone else's, go beneath the surface and try to address the real fear that has triggered it. Anger doesn't go away without addressing the underlying fear. Alternately, beware of someone's anger directed towards you. Okay. That's it for you guys for deck number 2. And last but not least, those of you who chose deck number 3. and the situation that you're going through. Rejection. I feel like no matter what you do, no matter how good you are at something, you're always being rejected. Somebody always has something to say. There's always somebody talking in your ear about things, and it's like you try your best to be up to the standards of those people, to be the best person that you can be. And I feel like it might be according to what other people think that you should be. And it's actually, I feel like that may be the reason that you are experiencing so much rejection, is because you don't accept that self that you are trying to portray in order to please. And as a reflection of that in your outer world, your spirit, your higher self, is actually sending you messages that you don't actually like what you're doing, because your perception is a direct, no, your immediate environment is a direct it's like it's directly matches that in which you put out to the universe. So you're obviously not accepting your work. You're not accepting what you're doing. You're rejecting yourself. But we're going to go ahead and read this from the book, Rejection. Rejection. You no longer need to prove yourself. This is about understanding who you are and what you have created. Ivory allows others into your life. Choose wisely. The artist, it says, rejection. They won't use me. The artist is summoned for jury duty, but they won't use him. He doesn't fit their concept of what the juror should be. He paints pictures no one understands. He lives alone. They want somebody who will put himself in the other guy's place, but he will never do that. He doesn't get mixed up with anything or anyone. They honor his individuality when they invite him in, yet when he appears, they reject it by not using him. Inspiration. You don't have to be on the inside track. Be true to yourself and you will not be unhappy. Rejection is spirit's protection. Personal inquiry. Am I working with or against my environment? What is the purpose of my present solitude? Okay. And what is it that actually needs to be released? Being in the flow. I am in flow of the universe. I am in the flow of the universe. I feel like this is telling you to let your spirit guide you. Let your spirit, let God guide you to exactly where it is that you need to be, exactly what you need to be doing, exactly what you need to be creating, and exactly where you need to go. And I feel like some of you may be wanting to move or feel the urge to move. And I feel like spirit is urging you to move if that's what you want to do. Either move jobs, or I'm getting move, like drastic move to another state. You know, the spirit is telling you that that is something that you need to do. But I am going to read from the book because I like to get more clarity. And I like to give you guys more clarity. Being in the flow. I am in the flow of the universe. Everything is falling into place because you aren't resisting the drift, the great river of life. Let go of the shore and allow the currents to dictate your direction. You don't need to decide and plan everything yourself. Let things flow effortlessly. So what needs to be released is the fact that you're hanging on to things that you need to let go of. You're hanging on to being someone that you're not. You're hanging on to being a people pleaser. You're hanging on to doing things out of routine. But Spirit is actually saying that what it is that you need to do is you need to let it go and let those people and situations fall where they may in your life. I mean, if you're choosing to go in a direction of spirit, obviously those people and those situations are not, I mean, anything that falls away is not supposed to be in your life. So it's better to just give it up now than suffer in more pain and have to deal with the same things over and over again. And it only gets worse. And I mean, it goes to the next level of worse. And I don't mean just the plain generalized, oh, it only get worse. No, it goes to the next level and the next level and the next level of harshness. So, hey, after rejection, what is there? Abuse? I'm guessing, yeah. So, yeah, what needs to be let go of is your need to hang on to people, situations, things, opinions that aren't in your best interest, that aren't in your spiritual path. And how to release it is psychic development. Psychic development is going to enable you to be able to survive the rough terrain, to wade through, I guess you could say, treacherous waters, like a swan, with grace. It's going to allow you to be able to persevere with grace, because developing your psychic development is actually going to give you a greater connection with your higher self, which is your conscious, which is your, I guess you could say, your guide, your directly from the divine, the creator. It's your guide. So it's going to be able, it's your instincts. They're going to be able to allow you to go through life with ease, with like being comfortable no matter what, because the simple fact is you have your guide and you know yourself, and you know that underneath it all, God's going to take care of you. He's there with you, and you don't have anything to fear. You can go, you could just follow your path, and no matter where the spirit leads you, you know that everything's going to be okay, and eventually you'll land in the destination, the place exactly that you need to be. But I'm going to read this from the book. So, how to heal? Well, how to release this. Psychic development. The energy and healing work you are doing now will enable you to heighten your sensitivity to the energy around you and others. This will assist you in developing discernment. Discernment is the feeling you get when your body. Discernment is the feeling you get in your body that signals you. Sorry about that. Discernment is the feeling you get in your body that signals to you whether something feels right or wrong, your sixth sense, your gut feeling. The situation you are inquiring about is asking you to use your discernment. You do not want to take on others' energies, yet you do not want to close yourself off out of fear. Envision energy flowing through you like water. Take on too much and you can sink. Closing yourself off offers a very different energetic experience. When you let the water energy flow as it will, and neither embrace it or fight it, you are truly in the flow. Remaining at this elevated energetic vibration will allow you to tap into the realms of the psyche. Alternately, this card can signify a pull to take classes, workshops, or read books about psychic development. And what's going to happen in result of you following this advice is the inner journey. So I'm guessing you're going to be starting your inner journey, your journey of self. It's going to start you on finding out who you really are, where you're really supposed to be, what it is that you really like, what it is that you really love. The inner journey is going to allow you to be your best friend, your own best friend, and you won't have any problems with, you will get rejection, but you won't have problems with it because you'll know where it's really stemming from, and it won't affect you in a way because you're not being someone else. If you're being you, then you can't have any regrets, because you put it all out there. Okay, so inner journey is what's going to happen in result of you following this advice. Not all who wander are lost. At times we are so consumed with our own personal journey that we project our journey onto another. Every soul arrives on this planet with lessons to learn and a life to live. For as many souls that are out there, there are many different journeys. Do not judge another's journey. Always respect where another person is on their path. Meet everyone you come into contact with where they are on their path. Do not insist they come to where you are. By doing this, you will not only expose those around you to your own healing vibration, but you will offer them acceptance without judgment. This is a great gift to both give and receive. So that's definitely something that you need to receive. And once you receive that, you'll know exactly how to give that as well. Because people can only treat you as much as they treat themselves. They can only be as good to you as they are good to themselves, and vice versa. So I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, and I hope that you get all of the clarity that you needed. Thank you for viewing this video, and have a nice day.